What is going on, everybody? We're back at it with another stream, another debate, another conversation that I'm looking forward to it. So, yes, you read the title right. We are doing. Hang on a second, guys. Somebody's blocking me. I should have put it in a better spot. Yes, we are doing a debate tonight. Oh, Mr. President, you're in trouble tonight. All right. If you guys been following me for a while, you guys know I went through my hair journey, and I'm redoing it now. So I started growing my hair out about 2 years ago, and I grow it out, and I donated it. So, as I said, there are debates. Which one is better? Which one is worse? Which one is this? Before I start talking, let me get this guy in here because I know he has a lot to say. He's gonna argue with me immediately about which one is better. We all know being, hair, long locks are better. I gotta play his goddamn intro. Guys, I'm talking about. I am definitely talking about Mr. President. Where's his intro? Oh, here it is. Nope, wrong one. Again, I hit the wrong button. There we go. What is going on, Mr. President?
It's going good on my end. What's going on with you? Obviously, you're just coming in tonight with all this negative energy.
Negative.
I, I,
See
I don't
this? See this? See this? This is
see.
locks. This.
This is negative energy. I mean, I don't understand why the follicle world can't live for coexistence with the follically free. I just don't understand this.
Oh no,
Because
no, no,
again,
we can't find.
I
My
come
debate
in
is.
here,
Go ahead.
I come in here representing the bold and the beautiful, the beneficent, the benevolent, bald brotherhood of the BMU network. So I put it's in our charter. We come in peace. I'm like Professor Charles Xavier. I seek peaceful coexistence with the follicle world. So I don't have smoke for saying one is better than another and all this kind of stuff. You're just trying to sow dissension in the atmosphere here. I come here with good vibes and good intentions, but you, being the ghost of Sparta that you are, your warlike ways are manifesting themselves again. And we just have to go here. But if we got to go here, we got to go here. But I didn't come in here firing the first shots. All right. You did. And so it is going to be what it's going to be. But I didn't start this. That's all I'm saying.
Seriously, you can call it fine. Okay, okay. Before we get into it, obviously, we got some things going on this week. Past week, I actually had a pretty good week. This week, believe it or not, I'm gonna show the pictures in a minute. I don't know if, did you see my post? I just posted a few minutes ago.
Yeah, you went to, I saw Hornswoggle, I guess one of the wrestlers.
No,
Is
Brett
it
Williams is a stand-up comedian.
the little person?
Yes, he's hilarious.
I'm sorry. I thought it was he looked like at first glance I thought it was Hornswoggle from the WWE. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, no, don't apologize to me. It's not you didn't fit at all. Yeah, let me share my screen here really fast,
No,
guys.
and not all small persons look alike. Right? Don't put that tag on me either. So
Which one? Here it is. All right, guys. Like you see on the screen right now. Brett Williams, great guy. I gotta say he was hilarious. Perverted but hilarious. I came that. And
mhm.
his partner was, JB. What was it? JB Ball, Ball, something like that. Hilarious.
Mhm.
Actually, I didn't know JB actually writes half of the jokes for most of the comedians. Like Chris Rock's, he writes half of Chris Rock's jokes.
Oh yeah,
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 and everything. I
hmm
was very, very surprised when I heard that. I'm like, oh, really? Didn't know that.
yeah,
Like, I
yeah.
thought he wrote his own jokes over the years.
Right,
But
right. No, I mean, I knew most of the guys. Even Richard Pryor had Paul Mooney wrote was his one of his main joke writers back in the day. So a lot of these guys used writers for their material, and yeah, so that doesn't surprise me at all.
yeah, one of the jokes, actually, Brett Williams, I gotta share this one actually, and we're gonna get into the show. One of his jokes was, oh, that's why I'm having an echo. I just realized that. Give me 1 second to fix this problem, guys. I was
Mm.
like, why am I having an echo? I'm trying to figure this out the whole time. I have my backup speakers on. That should be better now. So And one of the jokes was like, as short little person, like, how do you sleep with 300 plus women? I'm going, oh crap, this is not gonna go well. And he goes, you can't go, doggy style because the height, the weight is not, it's not gonna work out. She can't go on top because I'm like, you'll be like, oh, I'm that, you're gonna like, you might be looking for search and recovery after that. And he goes, I go on top, but the problem is I can't reach. My arms go. You go, so solution. She goes like this. I'm like, okay now. Of course, he does a little more funny than I do, but he was actually I don't know. I got him a respect for. He literally stayed after the show to meet every single person. He didn't bounce. I know when I saw what's his name, Flubby, not Flubby, not Flubby. What is his name? Fluffy. Fluffy. Graybo Iglesias. He didn't chill to meet his fans. He dipped. But again, maybe it could have been an arena because it was an outdoor arena. This was an indoor place and was more able to meet somebody. So it could have been a lot of factors there. Who knows? But let's get into the show, Paul. What do you think? Oh, I lost you. Oh, I know. Hang on. I can fix that problem very easy. That's on me. Got to change my settings here from the other day.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. That was.
Okay.
Did you mute yourself?
Where are we starting? So what are we starting with here?
All
What's
right.
the?
Okay, so I'll let you open a statement because I know. Listen, first of all,
My opening statement.
yeah, I want to have clear grounds here. I don't have a problem being bald head. I have shaved my head multiple times in the past. I
Respect.
I just want to see between two good friends.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a discussion about it. That's pretty much it. Fair enough.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, again, in my role as the 7B president, all right. So again, what I'm trying to promote in this space here, especially as you've seen, you've been in the BMU space, you notice that a lot of the contributors are perfectly and beautifully shaven. And this is something that's certainly in the black community that many men, I know you've had Hashim on the show and different gentlemen who sport for black men, African American men to sport bald heads because we, rather than going through all of the drama of trying to maintain a head of hair that obviously we cannot have very little control over, what happens there, and we lose our hair for various reasons. I know I started my hair loss significantly over the last, really starting in 2017, 2018 is when it really got bad. And I think it was mostly due to stress because at that time I had to really become out of my family. I'm the youngest of five. And I had to essentially become the head of my family, especially when it came down to taking care of my parents. And so I had both parents in somewhat dire situations, and I had to act quickly and I had to act with intention to make sure they were taken care of. And to the point where I told my wife, I said, look, I'm going to be busy for a while in dealing with them, and I need you to handle the domestic things around the house with the girls. I have three daughters. And so she graciously did that. She's been a great wife and partner to me. And so she took care of that, but it was very stressful. So I think my hair loss really started up here. Yeah, so I have, started to develop a bald spot here, and then I was starting to bald in the back here. And I'm a guy who, for years, for decades, I had waves. My brother, he was sort of, a guy I looked up to. He always had waves. So back in the day, in the 70s and the 80s, waves for black men, especially, that was the thing. So, you would, cut your hair low, you would take a stiff bore brush and you would brush and you would develop a wave pattern, and that pattern would be all over the head. And, you wore a do-rag at nighttime, and different cotton. Then the do-rag itself became a fashion statement to an extent in the black community. And the do-rag helped as your hair grew, it helped it to grow in flat. And obviously, because black people's hair is curly, you would develop that wave pattern. And so that was the thing. So growing up, my brother, he would always be watching TV or anything he was doing leisurely. He'd always have his brush, and it would be hundreds of strokes in different directions as the hair grew. You just
Mm-hmm.
I started to basically start to question, wear shorter and shorter hairstyles in order to mask the baldness. And so what also started to happen was I had to start seeing my barber at the time more frequently because again, I was not confident enough to put like a personal razor on my head or anything like that. I was fearful of cuts and missing spots and things of that nature. So I was going to shave my own, but going to the barbershop for a number of years, and I just started going more frequently. I used to be able to get away with going every 2 or 3 weeks, and then it started to happen where I was going every week. And then you had the pandemic. This was actually just before the pandemic. I made the decision that I would just bald out completely. So I bought me a rotary head shaver, very similar to like a Norelco type of shaver. It had 5 heads
Yeah,
on it.
a skull shaver.
Yeah, yeah. So I started using that, and one of the biggest, one of the saddest phone calls I ever had to make because again, my barber, he's also a very good friend of mine, and I basically had to tell him that, at this point, I'm stopping coming to the barbershop because the skull head shaver did such a good job that I didn't need to come to the barbershop except just to hang out at a fellowship or to break bread because black barbershops, that's like like a central hub for black men. That's like the BMU barbershop show on Friday nights. The real barbershop functions much in the same way. So it was kind of a hard call because obviously I like to support his business and his father has always been good to me, but I didn't want to patronize anymore. And this was just before the pandemic. So it was actually I was fortunate in a way. This was like November 2019, like in that ballpark, and then the pandemic came like in early 2020. So that was a transition I had to make. But since then, I never looked back. And I've never been a fan of body hair, period. I didn't like hair going on my legs. I never liked hair under my armpits. Get that sort of smelly, musty odor. So I've always shaved since I was probably a teenager into my early 20s. I always shaved my legs. I always shaved my armpits. And I had very little outside of that. I had very little body hair. In fact, it's to the point now where hair stopped growing on my legs altogether because I used to use like the Neat or the Nair products. I didn't like shaving per se, so I would use those. And it got to a point where hair stopped growing. So there's hair stopped growing on my legs. Hair stopped growing essentially in my armpits. I didn't put Neat in there, but I don't get a lot of hair growth there. So I just like being free of hair with the exception of my eyebrows. Now my eyebrows, that's from my mother's side. All of the women on my mother's side, they all have thinning eyebrows, and mine started to thin. By the time I was 30, they basically just thinned out. So this wasn't intentional, and I would like to have eyebrows. So I might be looking into some solutions in the future in terms of how I can, get some sort of maybe an implant or some I've seen where folks are getting stitched in to, like a natural eyebrow curve. I would love to have those, and I have my lashes still. But that's really where my journey started. So once I embraced the bald lifestyle fully, it was great. I didn't have to, the money I spent over the years on hair care products and pomades, different Afro Sheen and different wave pomades and things like that, and do-rags and sleeping with the do-rag at night and just all that extra maintenance trying to maintain a head of hair. I didn't have those problems anymore. And with the head shaver, I could shave every day or even multiple times a day. I didn't have to worry about necessarily irritation. And it really got good when I started using a pre-shave product on my head. So I use either electric shave pre-shave, and what that does is it actually stiffens the hairs on your face, or in this case on your head. It makes them very stiff, so that when the shaver goes over it glides and shaves very smoothly and cleanly when you apply that. So I use electric shave or after pre-shave, very similar. I tend to use the electric shave more because it's more readily available. I can go to any Walmart, Target, or whatever and pick it up. And I put that on. I let it dry. Again, the head. I know a lot of these shavers say you can shave your hair wet, but that doesn't work for me. So having my head dried, I apply the pre-shave. I let it dry out. It gets very stiff, and the razor, like I said, the head shaver glides over. and it's just very easy to just kind of just go. If I go a day or so, it's not bad. I can take it with me, wherever if I need to, tighten it up before I go out. So if I'm going out at night, I shaved in the morning. I can do it, if I get that sort of shadow, I can do it. I can shave that up, and it's just a nice lifestyle. I don't have to worry about, um, the sheens and staining pillows and all that other kind of stuff. So I just enjoy the lifestyle, and certainly seeing the myriad of black men who sport the ball lifestyle, the Michael Jordans, the Charles Barkleys, the Louis Gossett Jr.'s, rest in power to him. He just passed recently, and Avery Brooks, and all these guys who just sporting bald heads. I just felt very comfortable with it, and so when I got into the BMU space, I was just having fun with it because I just noticed that a lot of the brothers who would come up on the panel, they were all hit clean shaven. So R. Payne, JT, all these guys were coming in with the bald heads, and I just made an observation one day. Said, "Man, look at all these beautiful brothers with these bald heads," and everybody was like, "Wow," it's like everybody's, yeah, you're right. Everyone's clean shaven, and so I just sort of made up the moniker of the 7B network, and it just kind of took off from there. So I think that type of lifestyle works for me. But if I go into campaign mode, really I kind of created this persona of fighting for to liberate men from their ways of trying to fight baldness. In other words, kind of let it go. So I remember growing up back in the day, you had in the 70s, you had 60s and the 70s, and when I look at old TV, you had a lot of the celebrities and sportscasters or whatnot. They wore these toupees that, looking at them in hindsight years later, they look kind of ridiculous right now. So Marv Albert and a lot of the game show hosts and Howard Cosell and all these folks who wear these coats, and everybody knew it was a toupee, and everybody just kind of made jokes of it, how they didn't look natural, but they did that. And then you had in the 80s, the Cy Sperling commercials for hair club for men, and men spending thousands of dollars to get these hair transplants and all these procedures. And some of the early ones weren't permanent. You could still lose your hair, but that it was such an important thing for a lot of men in terms of their confidence and being able to do things. And so that was always promoted. And obviously the technology has gotten better now, where it's still expensive. It's not covered by medical insurance, but a lot of guys feel that in order to feel confident, they have to have a good head of hair. Women won't like me if I don't have a head of hair. And I never liked the half bald look, where again you lose all your hair on the top of your head, but then you still got the hair surrounding on the sides of your head. I never thought that.
I call it the shoehorn.
Yeah, the shoehorn. I never liked that look either. So my thing is, look, if I'm gonna go ball like that, I'm going all out. And again, and just seeing the examples of just black men, especially who were sporting the ball look, I still think it looked strong. It looked powerful. I didn't think these guys were any less because they were sporting those hairstyles. So I just said, if I go, I'm going all in. So I'm not going to just let nature just take its course and just, the ball is just captured. No, I'm just gonna nuke the whole thing and just go scorched earth. And that's what I did. And I've enjoyed it ever since. I don't miss hair. Like I said, I do miss eyebrows. So I got, so I need to look into, is there a way I can get some eyebrows put on in the near future? Because I'm thinking without the eyebrows, sometimes people think, oh, you're a cancer patient. So I never wanted that. I never wanted that moniker either. So, but like I said, that's my mama. That's the sisters that I had. They all had all the eyebrows thinned out. So that's just hereditary there. But yeah, so I'm just looking at what guys will go through to have hair. So if you're not doing the transplants, now the newest thing, especially with black men, the newest thing that's doing right now, they're doing tattooing. So in other words, like a lot of men,
mentioned that in the comments a minute ago. Actually, I'm going to get to that in a minute.
Mm-hmm. So guys are doing that micro tattooing thing on their heads. I'm thinking, man, that's got to be painful. Number one, anytime I'm not into, I don't have any tattoos whatsoever. Let alone I couldn't imagine getting a tattoo on my head. But a lot of guys are getting those. I know that's another discussion, but a lot of guys are getting that also. So I'm thinking, yeah, I mean, you're getting the lining and the edge up and all that, and then again, going back to the toupees, that was something that a lot of guys were starting to get, even in the black community. Like so, Steve Harvey, for example, wore a toupee. That that perfectly lined edge that he had for all those years, it became the butt of jokes. As so, he just said, you know what, I'm just going to take the toupee off and I'm just going to go rock the bald head. So again, Steve Harvey, and just a lot of guys who they weren't just going to go out, and especially back in the day. Now I know we talk about the horseshoe, but the funny one to me also was the guy with the ponytail. So you'd be totally bald
God.
here, but
Yeah,
you wore
I know what you're talking about.
the ponytail in the back. Jesse, if you look at Jesse Ventura today, he rocks that. I'm like, why? I mean, he was bald when he was governor, but then he decided to grow his hair out, and he's got the ponytail in the back. I'm like,
Even Hogan for a hot minute, he had.
That's another one, Hulk Hogan. Yeah,
Actually, he still has it. If I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna look up in a minute.
Yeah.
He's bold. Hang on a second. There we go. He's bold on top, and he has the mullet.
Yeah, the flowing locks at the bottom. But I'm like,
So
I said, yeah.
So here's my personal experience. Like, I have a love-hate relationship with this because I go back and forth all the time.
Right.
Have you realized we know each other for a good year now, and you obviously I'm always changing my look up around.
Yes.
Because I'm able to do that. I'm one of the few people who can rock a lot of different looks. I can do a comb over. I can do the spiky. I can do a buzz cut. I can do a bowl head. It all looks pretty decent on me.
Right.
The only thing that doesn't look good on me is clean shaving. I look like a goddamn fucking 6-year-old.
When was the last time you were clean shaven in your adult years? Like, I don't know, for a job or
I mean, clean, like
something
literally, like whatever, like
yeah, like maybe
like
you wore a
with blazer.
suit. You were, I mean, clean, not just for that you had a clean, well, at least shaven. Not even so much the hair, the head of hair, clean shaven. When was the last time you rocked that? And
I actually shave. I mean, I shave with straight razor, first of all. So
Okay.
last time I shave, I have to look at my Facebook because that's last time I posted the last pic I shaved. It's been a while. It was 2018.
wow, okay,
Yeah. And I'm actually going to share this right now with everybody because, all right, I'm warning you. This is a scary thought. Please hide your kids because you don't want to see this ever again. All right, here we go, guys. I warned you. So if you're going to run now. On 3, 2, 1. That's how bad it is.
you look totally different too.
Yeah,
But it
I
looks
know.
good though. I mean, it's not,
So it's a. So here's what. Before I get the head here, let me get shaving out of the way. The reason I hate shaving mostly, I break out really bad. I
Yeah.
always have, and I use very expensive stuff. Have you heard of this stuff called art or shaving?
Yes.
That is the number one stuff you can use for shaving. I actually use it on my head, believe it or not. So
Interesting.
I have a
So
whole.
is it like a cream or is it an oil or what's
Soap. It's a soap.
So it's a soap. Okay.
Yeah, it's old
so
school.
soap
So
dish
what
and you get your brush and
Yeah, you take a brush. I get
Yeah.
all my stuff directly from art shaving because I wanted the whole set. I wanted pretty much to make sure I get the full experience out of it. So
Right.
they have actually nice Kivy sets for like $20-$30. They're not expensive actually. So you first oil your area you're on shave. Let's say your face, for argument's sake. You use the pre-oil. That's what made the company what is good. Not the aftershave, not the soap. Is that stuff. So and it worked really well. But I said, I did the gel. I done the all kinds. So I prep my face. I usually always shower after the hot shower. It opens the pores. You get it cleaner and better shape.
I'm sorry, you shave after your shower or before?
Yes, after.
After shower. Yeah, I do the same thing. Yeah. For
So
sure.
same thing when I shave my head. I do it after the shower.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of have like a 2-step routine on that. So once I get out, I put my oil in. I put those soap in and let it sit hot, always hot water. So the prep the soap
Yes.
is I have a bowl, old school bowl like the barbers have. Look
Oh
down
yeah,
in it,
yeah.
squid, and it foams up.
I've used again. I've used the pucks. The shaving puck, the soap that's like the puck size, and
Yeah.
you have your shaving bowl. Now I'm using. I use a variety of things. I'll use an if I'm in a hurry, I'll use a shave oil because that I can put on once and it's good. And I do three passes. I do down, I do cross, and then I do reverse.
Mm-hmm.
I can get away with one application of oil, and it's still slick for all three. If I use a soap or what's called like a cream soap or a crope, if I use that, then I have to reapply. So I have my brush. I do the first pass, down, relather, do it again, and then the third time I'll do with that. So it takes a little longer. Plus, you have to heat up your brush or whatever you're using. So I put that in hot water, and I'll leave that in hot water as I shower. So when I come out, it's there, and then again you whip it up. Now also I prefer face lathering to bowl lathering. So I'll lather on my face rather than trying to mix it up all in the lather in the bowl. I'd rather do it on my face because I think it does a little bit more exfoliation and open up, and gets out any hairs and ingrown hairs or whatever. So I'll do that, and then I'll shave then. So yes, but I stopped a while ago. I stopped using like shaving foam or anything in a can or whatever. I stopped that a while ago. So it's the cream soaps or cropes. It's the pucks, the shaving puck, or like I said, if I'm in a hurry, one application of oil, I can shave in under 5 minutes and I'm out. And it's just a very fast way of doing it.
So with me with shaving, so here how I always went by with it is, I don't like the disposable razors. I'll tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
People don't know this, but those gel strips on them, they have a
Yeah.
chemical. I don't remember what it's called, but that
Mm-hmm.
chemical actually makes the hair grow faster, not
Ah,
healthier, faster, but not in a
right.
healthy way. It's not like
Mm-hmm.
biotin. That okay, biotin is gonna be really good for your hair and
Yeah.
your beard. So that's why I don't like them too. I break out. I'll be honest, I break out really bad. Um,
Gotcha.
so when I do shave my head, my routine usually is going to shower. I still hit shampoo in my head. I don't care if you're bald or not. You should still hit your head with
Yeah.
shampoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So after I take the electric buzzer and I just go around with it. Once I
Mm-hmm.
get out of the shower, I hit it with the pre-shave oil, lather that up. Then I go with my soap and I lather that up and I go with a
Mm-hmm.
straight razor. So I get maybe three
Right.
or 4 days out of it very easily. And people don't
Gotcha.
realize that. Like if you do the steps I'm telling you, most people, you realize, oh shit, it actually works. If that makes sense.
Yeah. No, it does. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I stopped using disposables probably about 3, 4 years ago. I actually went back. I went old school. My dad used to shave with that dual edge safety razor, the one where you had to open,
Yeah,
you
safe ways.
twist the
That's what I
bottom
use.
and yeah, and open up. So
Yeah.
I used that one for a number of years, the dual edge safety razor. Now the one I had for years, I had a Parker. I had one for about 3 years, and I dropped it, and the handle broke off.
Mm-hmm.
And so I decided to get another kind. It was highly reviewed from the same company, but it was a different kind. And I just couldn't get used to it. It was very aggressive, but it was very rough on my face. And so, but what I did find was I found a single edge safety razor, and it had like a bump guard on it. And so I bought that. It's the best shave I ever had. Very few nicks and cuts.
Okay.
One, straight edge. Again, it's sort of an old school. Also, it's like a cartridge design.
Mm-hmm.
You plug it into the razor, pull back, and put the new one in. It pops the old one out, and so I still use my razor disposal kit to put them in, but very safe and very comfortable shave. And that's probably the last razor that I'll probably ever use. But it really does a nice job for me, and I can and the way it's shaped, it's like you automatically get the right shaving angle. Because I think the problem I was having, especially with the new safety, I was trying to use my old technique that I used with my other dual safety, and I couldn't get the angle right. So when I would pull down, it was very aggressive. But this one here, the way it's shaped, it has a very flat surface, so it's flush against your face, and you barely feel the blade as you're coming down. It's very it's very comfortable, and so in fact mine is from a supply company, So I bought that one, and I was so good. I was like, I was definitely sold on it. Like I said, I don't think I'll have to buy another one with that. But yeah, but I went old school, and I saved so much money. I think I did one post where I had maybe like a whole year's worth of razors
That's what I
in
did.
my
I When I was shaving, I was only rocking the goatee for a little bit. So
hmm
this area is always the roughest for me to shave, the mustache and
hmm
the goatee area. So I
hmm
just wrapped the goatee for when I was younger.
hmm
And when I got introduced to the art of shaving, I go, the razors are expensive as shit. But
yeah.
they were running a big sale. I went like, how much is the sale? And it was like $100 for like 1,000 razors. Like, okay, take them. I still have a whole stack of them. And
Oh wow.
because I go through maybe I don't change my razor every single time because it lasts a while for me. Because
Yeah.
I might shave my neck a little bit in the bottom area, but
hmm
that's once every 6 months or a year maybe.
hmm
I don't really shave. Like how often have you seen me shave? As long as you know me.
No, certainly just when I catch your videos when you're putting. Now, do you have like a trimmer edger that you
Yep.
use to?
So
Okay.
for the beard, I have couple two different kinds right now.
hmm
So body hair, I use people keep shit to it, but it actually works really well. Um, the landscaper, man landscaper,
Okay. Yeah.
point
Yeah.
eight, I
Yeah.
think, works the
hmm
greatest
Yeah.
because it's not a metal buzzer; it's actually a plastic, and it doesn't pull your
Okay.
hairs, and that's the
Right.
great thing about it.
Right.
Two, for the beard, I use Brio right now. Brio's been
Okay.
is good, but if you're trying to get a clean shave off it, you're not gonna
hmm
get that. That's only for a good
Right.
trim.
Right.
Um, Now if you're trying to get like a very close angle, I'll probably use my Shonoko. Been having them for years off and on. Um,
Yeah.
People complain they pull their hairs and they get nipped, and I'm like, I never had an issue with that. It's like butter. The reason I got the Brio is I heard a hype for it. Like I said, let me see what's the hype about it,
Yeah.
and the hype is, it's all right. There's nothing too crazy to be honest with you.
Right. But I have seen comparison videos because definitely I think the Manscaped is certainly gets the most social media attention.
Hmm.
But I've heard some good things about the Brio shaver as well. In comparison, people have done comparison videos with the two of them. So I'm definitely aware of it.
So the Brio Beerscape is actually very good. So one, the battery lasts for a good year. You don't need to charge it once a
hmm
year, and it has settings on there how fast you want the blade to go. So they have what's called a zero blade now on it, and it's supposed to have a clean shave. My hair is
hmm
so goddamn fucking thick, they wouldn't go near that. It would not. It was like nothing.
I hear you.
That's how
Right.
bad it is sometimes.
Yeah.
Um, Excuse me, my barber bitches all the time. He goes, "Man, your fucking hair's fucking up my equipment, man. And you're like a
Right.
goddamn Chewbacca over here."
Right.
Right.
But is now are you typical? I know this is like almost a gray area topic, but are you typical of most Greek men regarding hair? Or do you find yourself hairier than other Greek men? Or how was your dad? Was he kind of hairy like you as well? Or what's the
He was he's pretty hairy like me, but not. He hates facial hair. The
he
most
hates
he
facial hair?
Oh yeah, he bitches about me all the time. When you gonna fucking shave and be a man? Like when you gonna be a real man? I went to him. So
Be a man. So let me ask you. So again, so the average Greek man, again, is having a beard because we also talked about it on the last guy we talked about the gods and everything. Like most of the gods, like Zeus and those
mhm.
guys, they all have these powerful bills and powerful beards and things of that nature. So is facial hair or beards, is that a Greek thing, or today are more modern men clean shaven? What do you think that the vibe is when it comes to Greek men and hair? Is it yes or no? Facial hair, I mean. Is it
So facial hair is a little
pos-
funky with Greeks. The reason I said it in
okay.
a specific way. So most people I know who have facial hair, it is a trick question because most people have like nice trim, like most people have. Like
hmm
they would do the 5 o'clock shadow, they would do this and that. So
hmm
I am one of the few ones who grows his out. If you go to any Greek church, for example, okay, let's use a church
hmm
for example because that's where most Greeks, hang out.
Right.
Um, I'm probably the only one in my whole church community has a long beard.
A long beard.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you remember Father Cosino, who came on the service on
Right.
our, I'm not sorry, I'm sorry, on our on Gregory on Sundays,
Yeah.
9:30 by the way, guys. I got a little bit of promotion
Right.
there. It, I had my beard's longer than him. I actually educated him on beard care. He didn't know what to do
Right.
with it. You
Yeah.
know, so
Now, do
either
most priests
yeah,
is that do most priests have beards?
yes,
Is that yes?
you have to have a beard.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's emulated in the priests,
Hmm.
but as far as the general population, though, they're not like inspired to wear a beard. Like or like you said, it's mixed. Some guys still go clean shaven and prefer to be clean shaven versus having it. So I guess the beard doesn't give like almost like a sense of authority for the men who wear it.
Let's say again another trick question. I would say it's one of those things that the beard you can as a priest you can grow it either way. I seen priests have it down to down to their stomach.
Yeah,
Seen it
yeah.
as short as maybe a 5 or 6 o'clock shadow kind of thing.
Hmm.
And I seen it as my length. I think it was different lengths, but it has to be a beard. It can be a goatee. It can be a chin strap. And by the way, guys,
Wow.
chin strap is not cool, so don't do that. And grooming reviews kind of a little hint there. But
Right.
with the beard, it's a different world there. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it like I said, it definitely it gives off again like this sort of authority, like this wisdom type of image or
Absolutely,
persona
absolutely. Yeah.
to the men who wore it. But I just wasn't sure, like I said, about Greeks as far as the general population. From what your father's saying, like I said, he prefers to be clean shaven. So you're definitely going against the grain. When it comes to that.
So with that, I have a weird one with that
Hmm.
because I'm the type of person who likes facial hair. I always have, always will. I don't look good with facial hair. Like I know you might say different, but I don't feel comfortable with no facial hair.
Hmm.
It's even a conference thing at times with me.
Hmm.
Like a good example, I was going to this is younger. I was like 23, 24. And I was rocking the short beard when the short beards were first coming out. Actually, it was a little later than I would say probably like 28. I'm sorry.
Hmm.
And me and my cousin were going. It was summertime. Me and my cousin and a couple of friends were going to hit the club in New York. So I didn't have time to get a haircut up here in PA. So he
Right.
goes, go check my, go where I get my haircut. It wasn't a barber. It was more like a salon. And
Okay.
again, no offense to her. It was like she was a sweet woman. I thought maybe it was a language barrier at first. No, she understood completely because she was Spanish. It was none of that. But she told me I don't do straight razor. I can shape your beard off. Man, she fucked me up. She jacked me up so bad up here. Like
Oh
so,
man.
we tried to fix it up at home. It was again who go. At the point we were going lower to the point like okay, this is a chin strap. I'm not going in a club with a chin strap. I just walked in with a goatee and did it. And the
Right.
conference was like straight down.
Mm.
And it wasn't me. And he's like, ever since I've been rocking beards, and like I like having a beard. And I go
Hmm.
through my phase. I like a long beard, and then I buzz down to a short beard. Then I do a 5 o'clock shadow. I go through my phases, and now I'm still in
Right.
my long phase.
Right.
Like, my goal is right now. Do you need a goal for a beard? No. Is it nice to have one? Yeah. So I would
Right.
say if I had a guess about, my beard right now, my goal probably is right now just to see how long grow the best beard I can. But
Hmm.
I'm going for like a Viking, Greek god, Kronos, fuck you kind of beard, if that makes
Hmm.
sense.
Hmm.
So the hair,
Right.
I'm still fighting with that right now with the style
Right.
because and I know you're gonna tell me just shave it off, man. I know you're gonna come with that.
No, honestly, where my if I had a suggestion for guys, like I said, the guys I talked about, the guys who have the horseshoes, or the guys who are considering these drastic methods. I mean, you basically still have a full head of hair. And for guys who have a full head of hair, I'm not going to tell a guy to say, okay, shave off. You're perfectly good. So again, like Black David or whatever, I'm not going to tell these guys to shave their heads. But again, I would suggest again, if you're losing the battle, right? If it's just a matter of time, and whatnot, and you start to see the balding spots and whatnot, and you going through, and you take, I know they have these online programs where they get, they'll ship you like minoxidil and all these other hair loss prevention methods and whatnot. If that's the route that you're going in, um, for those guys, I may say, what's really at play when it comes to your confidence, because now you're almost talking about like a psychological conversation versus a medical conversation. That why can't a man feel confident without hair or what have you? Like, what is going on the inside that would make you feel less of a man, based on your looks or what have you? So I think for those guys, I would encourage them, like, don't necessarily capitulate to peer pressure regarding what society may think. Okay, oh yeah, a real man has a full head of hair, and I guess the girls and all that. Again, and it may be different in the black community. I think the bald hairstyle in the black community is pretty openly embraced. And like I said, certainly, especially when you look at the celebrities, you look at the athletes, you look at the guys who rock it. It's been made popular by several celebrities. Who's my man? Nick Fury, from the Marvel, Samuel L. Jackson. I mean,
Good example right
Mace
there.
Windu, and yeah. I mean, so again, I mean, it's been so popularized in our community that a lot of guys, kind of go to that look, again, without having to go through the drastic means of trying to preserve what they have, or the implants or wigs, or the micro tattooing.
Hmm.
And just at the end of it, it's just a freer a type of existence. But at the same time, I want to be sensitive to those who, hair and appearance, those things matter to a lot of people. And even to the point of, this is also where, when it talks about like fitness, kind of always comes into play. It's like, so you can be like, there's so many different ways you can improve yourself. Yeah, you might not be able to keep your hair, but you can work out, you can exercise, you can build a better version of yourself from the sort of the top down. So whether it be a man, and I get it, especially for women. Now, a woman thinning hair, that I totally get. If you're because in fact, I was just in Walmart tonight and I saw this woman whose hair was like, it was so thin, you could see she still had hair like all over, but her hair was so thin you could clearly see her skull, and she still sort of rocked it. But I can totally get for a woman to feel a certain way if she lost her hair to an extent where she had to consider a lot of those same procedures, whether it be the implants or the wigs or the hair pieces or whatever. So I can understand a woman feeling a certain way about it. But I guess I never considered what a man goes through when he is in a situation where he doesn't have hair or can't wear hair, either because of his job or his something that's preventing him from doing so. Um,
So the hair thing. This is like people look at me like, why? Can you have facial hair, or let's just start with the head hair. When I had my man bun, like, can you really have a hair that long hair as a chef? Yeah, you could. You gotta wear a
mhm.
hat all the time. You gotta wear a hat no matter what. Even as your look boldness, you still
Yeah,
have
yeah,
to
yeah.
wear a hat.
Right.
When guys argue with me, I'm not wearing a hat. I don't have hair. Like, I don't give a shit. You're going to wear a hat because you still
Mm,
sweat. You
right.
have to catch a sweat somehow. And they're arguing. I'm like
Yeah.
seeing people like, literally, some people sweat really bad
Hmm.
to a point like, come on, dude, that's disgusting. Like, wear a fucking hat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I get you.
So, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I get that. I
Yeah.
get that.
Now with the goatee, with the beard, so the rule, it depends where you work. If you work at a healthcare institute, so this has been an argument across the field. It should be a 5 o'clock shadow, no matter what, because when
Hmm.
that's where is the thinnest and is the most dangerous to break off.
Mm.
So now, DOH has something else. It depends on your state. The law is completely different everywhere. Someone says an inch, some say 2 inches, some say 3 inches.
Hmm.
It really depends on every
Right.
health every health state regulation is different per state. Most of them are about the same, but
Hmm.
there it was different. So with the exercise, I agree 100%. So if you want your hair to grow faster and healthiest, you what causes health growth of the hair is high T, high testosterone, in other words.
Hmm.
So how
Yeah.
do you raise testosterone? By working out.
Yeah. Oh,
So
for sure. Yeah.
yeah,
It's a natural increase it without taking any kind of supplementation. Absolutely. Yeah.
yes. So testosterone is broken down into different levels. You got the one that makes you, you know, that good one. Then you
Hmm.
have the other one. A part of it that is, it's two parts of it. This is the fascinating part of it. The two parts of it is one part. If you have too high of it, you lose your hair actually.
Yeah.
But the other part of it, if it's too low, your beard doesn't grow good enough. That's why you see guys
Mm.
with spotty beards because they don't have high T. It doesn't
Hmm.
mean they're sterile or anything like that, but that specific T boost is very low, and you can't really
Right.
boost one part and not boost the other. You kind of like have to take a supplement for everything. Now, if you're like a 29, 30-year-old man, you go and taking it supplements because you want to grow a beard, you're wasting time. Really,
Yeah.
your beard doesn't really come in really thick to about in your early 30s, mid 35, like 35, 36, it really comes in. But once you hit your
Right.
40s, yeah, that's that golden age for beard. 40s and up is where you really want to grow your best beard.
Right. So when did you rock your first beard?
This length or short beard?
Or just just when you started like a full beard, whether regardless of its length. Were you in your 20s still or?
I was in my 20s, yeah. I was one
Hmm.
of the few ones. I mean, it probably a culture thing too. Most Greeks are very hairy, like I said.
Hmm.
Um, so in my 20s, yeah, I'm around there.
Hmm.
I always hate shaving. My dad always come, bitch, man, like go shave. And I'm like, no. He goes, fine, be a bum. I'm like he hated
Hmm.
long hair too. I'm like when I started like, why are you wearing your hair like you're a bum or something? Like like I used to make fun of those people. Like, yeah, you used to make fun of it, not me. I
Hmm.
went to him, and we also argue
Right.
about that when I was growing my hair. Like cut your hair. Like no. Like how about you? Shave your head. I went to him like my hair's fine. Like that's if I don't want to cut my hair, I don't have to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like he was one of
Right.
those guys like you have to cut your hair. Like no, I don't have to cut my hair. It's just simple.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he doesn't like any style except the old school comb over. That's what the
Yeah.
only cool style it is. And I have gone back and forth with it. I have done the modern version of it when you shave your sides completely off and just do the comb
Hmm.
over. And I've done the
Right.
short sides and comb over. Like him, he's just short sides, comb over. That's the only style he's allowed to wear. That's the
Right.
old
Now I
school.
also yeah. Now I
Go ahead.
also noticed that again with Greek men, the classic image I've seen, I guess, of a Greek man is that he has naturally curly hair. I've seen your pictures of you with your hair kind of, straight growing out. Your hair grows in relatively straight.
Yeah,
It's not
that's not
curly, but I'm
that's
all.
a that's not a fact. Most men it's 50-50 really. I've seen very curly hair men and I've seen very straight hair men. My hair is actually a combination of three. It's straight,
Hmm,
thick, and thin. Believe it or not. So it comes in very thick,
thick
but
and thin.
yeah. So it's straight. We already established that. So it's thick. It's a thick root, but it's
Hmm.
thin, meaning like when it starts growing down, it goes like a funnel. It goes thins out as time goes out. The
Okay,
longer it gets. Kind of makes sense.
gotcha. Yeah, yeah. But that image, like again, going back to those figures again, those Greek gods and
Hmm.
things that again tend to have like curlier, curlier hair. But that's not anything inherent to Greek people, per se. They have all different types of hair textures and what curly, straight, or whatever. That's something
No,
that's
that's not
more
nothing to do with
commonly
it.
associated with
Yeah,
Greek men.
it's like you being bold. Can you do anything about that? No, you can't. Like you
Hmm.
saying like
Right.
I'm like all black men are bald. Like BMU, he's not bald, and he has
Yeah.
who knows how long his hair is, but he dreads his hair, right? I'm not mistaken, or he braids it.
Who's that?
BMU, he braids his hair.
I think he has dread. Yeah, I think he has
Dre-
dreads in his hair.
braid,
Yeah.
braid, but
Yeah.
it's still a type of braid. So his hair
Right.
is long, and that's a
Right.
good look for him. I done the
Which
beard
also
style.
means he has to have hair on his head because you can't braid it unless you have something to attach
Yep,
it to. So he probably still has a full head of hair that allows him to wear the extension braids on top of it.
exactly.
Hmm.
So it's a combination of thing. I would say is like part of it is genetics. I would say definitely genetics has a big role to do with this. If you don't
Hmm.
have genetics, you can't do anything. If
Hmm.
cards are not dealt with you, there's some things you can do with beards, for example. Like the beards, you can. There are oils out there called. It's actually from Dane C. Bearded. He created this. It's a called the Exlater, I want to say. So the
Mm.
chemicals in it helps you wake up the dormant particles. That's one.
Right.
Another oil is from Dr. Nick. He has a really good one. I gotta look it up really fast because I don't remember the
Right.
name of it. Um, and it's really well, and you can use it at all times. All the stuff I'm gonna recommend is natural. It's called growth stimulant. The growth stimulant
Hmm.
oil works great because it
Hmm.
has a couple of ingredients like peppermint is a good stimulant. Jojoba is another good stimulant. There's so many different ones.
Hmm.
So this one right here is brandy oil, rice oil, castor oil, peppermint, and rosemary. Those are the top oils
Hmm.
you want in there to start the stimulant, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I actually use the same one on my head hair to actually help the growth.
Okay.
So
So you don't find much difference then between hair treatment on your head versus your beard, especially once it gets to the
same thing,
length that you have it
same thing.
now.
I do the same thing. I don't
It's the
change
same. It's the
anything.
same
The only
hair
difference I
follicle. There's
do, I is okay. First
Mhm.
of all, head hair and beard hair are two different kind of hair. So
Right.
the head facial is always made to protect your hair. You can lose your hair and you're fine. So if your body had to keep one and get rid of the other, it will get rid of your head hair automatically.
Hmm.
So I do my routine in the morning is I wake up obviously, brush my teeth. After I'm done brushing my teeth, I put oil in my I put a little I wet my beard a little bit. I wash my face, then I
Hmm.
put oil. Whatever excess oil I have in my hands, I put it in my hair. I just go through it.
Hmm.
I take a
Right.
comb. I usually do a beard comb because it works the best because that's the way the teeth are. And I stop using the cheap combs on my hair, and I start using beard combs because they're better made. They're
Hmm.
wooden combs, or do I have one on here? I don't. Or a brush, like something like this.
Hmm.
So it helps you uh, spread the oil evenly to the
Hmm.
hairs.
Hmm.
So it depends on your length. Chicago combs are one of the best for the beards. I actually use it for the hair too, like I said.
Right.
So I do
Right.
that. Now at night, the different I shower, I have oil, I blow dry it because I wanted to get the style going in like I have it now.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I do it at night. You're supposed to do it in the morning. I do it at night because of my work. Because
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna be all greasy and have to take a shower anyway. So it's better for me
Right.
to shower at night and do it every night. Once I'm
So how
done,
much time would you say per day that you're doing hair, just treating yourself? So again, from the shower to to the shaping or the treatment with the different oils and things that you're using to the brushing. Like how much time, like in the morning, does it take you to get yourself, you know, groomed in order to go out to work or going out or whatever? I mean, how much time are you talking about?
ooh, from shower and everything from beginning to end. You mean?
Yeah.
20
Well, not the
minutes.
shower. Take the shower out of it. But I'm saying when you start treating, so again, you probably shampoo your beard in the shower, and
Hmm.
then you dry it out. You start applying the oils and the different
Hmm.
treatments to it and whatnot. You comb it. You're doing the grooming
So I'll give you two
to it.
scenarios. If I had
Okay.
to, let's say, with blow dry and everything, I mean, on a light day, 20 minutes, easily. Now, if I'm washing my hair that day because I wash my hair once a week, it's
Hmm.
I don't know, 10, maybe 20 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes. Depends if I'm,
Hmm.
bullshitting a little bit too. Like, I'm
Hmm.
taking my time, dragging my feet. If I'm just going
Right.
in and out kind of thing, like today, I had to get in and get out kind of thing. Like I
Right.
had shit to do today. I was in and out
Right.
in 30 minutes.
Right.
Like with wash everything. I mean, the whole thing.
Hmm.
Even, body, even the kraken, I use, you have to use one thing I would recommend every man to do this, and I know this is getting a little man doing. Oh, I want to do this. Don't use the same soap down there. I cannot get. I hate when I hear this because no, I'm being very serious because there
Hmm.
is soaps just for that. I know BMU is saying I'm not putting this shit on me. Like, well, when you get bacteria infections, I'm gonna be laughing my ass off because UTI from
So
it
what?
are
When you
very
say
bad.
soaps, all right. So school educate me on this. So
Okay,
you're saying that there's cleansing soaps. So we're not talking about
antibacterial
you
soaps are
know
called.
Okay, for
So
for the groin area.
groin and ass area. The two places you're supposed to use it. Because bacteria grows there very easily. A
Hmm.
woman uses the same one for her vagina area and her ass area too, of course, down, the
Hmm.
private area, to put it the best way,
Hmm.
is
Hmm.
lemons. Let me find it right now because I can't remember the name.
Can you, yeah, do me a favor, send me, because I'm literally on Amazon. I was about to place an order for some things. If you send me that link, I'll look it up on Amazon if it's there. And yeah, I wouldn't mind trying a sample of that. So yeah, send
Yeah,
me the
I
link and I'll.
actually do. Women, men can use this. There's nothing wrong with it. So it says a woman on it, but it is unisex. And let's keep that in mind.
No, I got
So
you. I got
yeah,
you.
no,
Yeah,
I'm
but
just
yeah, send me
wondering.
that. I
Yeah,
want to check it out. I also checked out your Art of Saving. It's mad expensive. I usually use Parasso. Again, it's a shaving soap, but it's like almost like a creamy type of. It's not as hard as a puck. So I've used that, and I've had some really great results using that. The Art of Shaving though is like 3 times as much.
it
It's
is,
pretty
but
up there.
for me, I get a good 6 months out of it because you don't need a
6 months,
lot. Yeah.
yeah,
So I'm gonna share this
yeah,
really fast for everybody so you can check it out. And by the way, I want to keep everybody also. This is not sponsored or anything like that. I'm
yeah,
just
for
bringing
sure.
things out there, so I want to keep everybody. I'll send it to you on the back chat. So this is a
Yeah,
pack of
for sure.
three, a pack of four, and last. I still have my first pack when I bought like a year ago. I'm just
Right.
finishing the first bottle. It doesn't go. A little goes a long way. What I recommend here.
Hmm.
So it's
Right.
literally
Okay. So even though it's a
go ahead.
feminine wash, men can use it
Yeah,
also.
believe it or not, there's a lot of products out there that men don't use, and guess what?
Hmm.
They're actually very good for men.
Hmm.
And I recommend it to anybody to use these if they're able
Okay.
to. Some, I'll give a good example. When I had my long hair, the biggest problem I always had is my hair, the sides used to fall in my face. I'm like, damn, this is getting fucking annoying. I got body
Hmm.
pings. And like, people look at me, you're really gonna put body pings in your hair? I'm like, yes, I did. I'm like, what's wrong with it? They've been using shower head hats. People, women don't wear, I'm not gonna wear that in the shower.
Hmm.
Why? What's wrong of wearing a shower head in a shower? Tell me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Some products are
Right.
really good. And like face wash, that's a even better example. They have
Yeah.
so many.
I definitely on my face. I use. I'm definitely Metro in that sense. I use a face wash. I use exfoliator. I
I do
use
too.
alpha hydroxy acids. I use you know, the moisturizer. So it's like for me, it's like several steps. So once I'm finished shaving, I'll use a non-alcohol toner to get the additional oils off. Then I'll use like a something to treat. Cause my skin is a little uneven. When I was in my 20s,
Hmm.
I used a lot of like lye-based hair exfoliators, and I kind of got some scarring there. So I'm trying to even out my skin tone on my face. So I'll use that. Then I'll use like I said, like a alpha hydroxy type of serum, and then I use a moisturizer over top, and then I also use a moisturizer on my head. So I got a moisturizer specifically for the bald head that I'll also put on as well. So yeah, facial care I definitely
So
I
I want
take
to
pretty
recommend
seriously.
this to everybody. Also, hang on, we share the screen again. So I
Yeah.
personally
Drop me that link in
use.
the back chat if you can, because
I'm sorry.
I can the for the wash
I'm
drop
gonna
that.
send it to you in a minute, actually,
Okay,
on
cool.
the chat. Just give me 1 second to actually
Sure thing.
share this for everybody. Where is it? Ah, here it is. Okay, so I use this company right here. You guys see. So
Port. Okay.
I was a big fan of a company called Vitamin Man. Great company,
Hmm.
comes out of Australia. The problem I had with them was once you order it, it takes forever to get it to you. And the price you were
Yeah.
paying for the bottles they were small bottles, and I went through them too fast. The wash,
Right.
the head wash and conditioner wasn't too bad, but again, Australia they're more stricter. That's why I liked about it, and they're all natural. So I
Mm.
came across this guy named Alex Cross. Cross is actually this is what he does. He loves man style and stuff like that. I'm using this 3 sets right here right now. All right, they have toners and stuff like that, obviously,
Mm.
but I use the wash, the wash and the moisturizer. Then I'm sorry, the wash and moisturizer backwards. I have it here, and then it has the surf
Mm.
later here. Three to
Mm.
4 times a week you're supposed allowed to use, it. And they have the other stuff too. So if you go
Mm.
to where is it? Products, facial. Nope, that's not it. Skincare right here.
Yeah, probably
Yeah, they
skin
have
care. Yeah.
everything right here. You have the toner, everything for men. This is made
Yep.
for men's skin specifically
Yes.
versus buying a woman. Again, there's nothing wrong buying a woman. If that works for you, Paul, great. I'm not telling you to stop it. I'm just recommending
Mm.
some other stuff on
No, I
top of
got
what
you.
you
Yeah.
use.
Yeah. I have a like I said, I have a similar regimen of
Yeah.
regimen of products that I use, and So yeah, I treat that the facial care I definitely treat pretty seriously.
The only thing I
Um,
would highly recommend, they make these little scrubby balls, pads with little balls on it that helps you scrub your face. It exfoliates the skin every
okay,
single time, and they're
right.
cheap. They're like for a pack of five, like $3. They're cheap. They're and
How long
I
do they last per like when you replace it?
whenever they go bad, I still have the first pair. To be honest with you, I have one in
Okay.
on my sink and one in the shower because I wash my
Hmm.
face in the shower at night, and in the morning
Hmm.
I just wash it right in the sink.
Right,
So it really depends. Depends on how rough are you are, how rough your skin is. That's what it comes down to.
right,
I have a pretty
right.
smooth skin because I was one of the smartest ones. Growing
Hmm.
up, I took care of my skin very, very well over the years.
Hmm. Gotcha, gotcha.
And people have given me shit to it. To this day, I get shit for it. Like, man, your skin is so more soft than a woman's. Like, okay, what is that problem? And like, I
Hmm.
have soft skin because I took care of my skin. I had very very good I was called skincare. I always did, and
Yeah,
I always will.
gotcha,
So
gotcha. Right.
I just
Now
sent you
let me
the
ask you
batch.
something about let me ask you something about just having a beard because I've never had a full beard. I
Yeah,
think
go
the
ahead.
only time I tried to grow one out was I was in an auto accident back in '93, and so I was laid up for a while, and my hair just naturally started to grow in. It came in very curly,
Hmm.
and I got a ton of ingrowns. So like I had a pin, like a needle pin, and literally I had to sort of lift the hairs out because they would just as soon as they come out, it would just curl
So
back in.
that's a
And
very easy solution. You got two options here.
mhm.
I really say two options because it's a step. Option A, step one, and then go to step two. Step
Sure.
one is your school burr brush. Great because when you start brushing it downwards, the direction the hair needs to go to, it
Mhm.
doesn't curl in. It goes straight
Right,
down. You're
right,
training the hairs. So
right,
once
right.
it gets a little longer, probably like an inch and a half, depends on your hair also.
Mhm.
Then we introduce the brush, I mean the beer comb, and you start now using that instead. Or you can use both. I go for both at that point. So I put the oil. Now the question is, if I ask me, when should I start using oil, Pete?
Mhm.
The next day. If you decide to grow a beard today, you start using that oil. Obviously,
Right,
at the beginning, you just use a drop. A drop goes a very long way. As it grows,
right.
you add a little more as it goes. Times.
And the oil doesn't clog your pores as your beard is
No,
growing.
actually, that's the best
Mm.
thing for you. It's natural oils. So as your skin grows, your head hair and your facial has called oil called a symbiote oil. The symbiote
Mm.
oil actually helps it grows. So when you had hair, you haven't washed it for a week. Does it get a little greasy
Right,
after a while, right?
right.
Symbiote oil. That's what it is. So
Mm.
what happens when you start growing it and growing and growing it? Your hair and the oil cannot keep up with each other. So you have to replace it. So when you were growing your beard, you got really itchy, I assume, right?
Yeah, very, very.
That's
Even now, like after I shave, like if I go like a couple days without shaving, then like I said, the ingrowns, just the way my hair,
trust me.
it comes in flat. So like my hair will not grow out; it grows straight down, and then it'll try to go
Are
in.
you
And so,
against of growing a beard at all, or would you like to try
like
it
I
one
said,
time?
yeah, for the most part, yeah. Because like I said, now I was able to grow a bit of a goatee or a little bit under here, like under my chin. I can grow a fairly thick part of hair. Here, there's just patches on my skin where hair won't grow at all. So it's like there's like literally like bare patches on my
So
skin
what happens
where hair
there
wouldn't
is
grow.
if you give it a little more time to let it grow in, it will come in.
Hmm.
At first, the first
Hmm.
month is called your beard goes in a stage. My beard looks good, aqua phase. Good aqua phase. Good aqua phase. You're going back and forth.
Hmm.
One good month, one bad month, or three
Right.
good months. Then you try and go a little long. Oh man, it looks like shit now. But you have to get pushed through that. Same thing with hair. Like my hair is right now like in a weird phase because I'm trying to grow it back out.
Hmm.
So I'm growing and growing, and I'm like, hey, my hair, I can't do anything with it right now. So I gotta deal with it. I gotta get pushed through this part to get to the goal. Can I see what I'm saying? Same thing
Hmm.
with beard. So you gotta get through the awkward phase. So if you like to, enjoy the beard journey, and let me teach you how to grow a good beard,
Right.
we can get you through that. Like if you only want
Right.
to like an inch or two, a little oil. That's all I can recommend. A couple oils. a good brush and everything. I got a bunch I can give you too,
Right.
actually.
I got you.
So once you get through that, I'm like, oh, that son of a bitch. That first word gonna come
Right.
out of your mouth.
Like I said, I'm not apt. Honestly, if I got like laser and took all my hair off, I think I would prefer that. Like
My
just
godfather did that.
not have hair growth. Like I said, like I said, eyebrows. I would love some eyebrows. That so like I said, I still got to look into what could be done. I know guys get implants, or like I said, that it's not. I think Stacy mentioned tattoo. It's not tattooing. It's like literally where they put like a. It's
Implants. I
like
know
a
what he's talking about.
yeah.
So
So put something on it. So I
several
would
years
love to
back,
have that.
when this is when I started getting my beard phase. Back then I used to do like a buzz cut almost. So I used to get a skin fade on the side and then one on top.
Yep.
Just very easy
Hmm.
maintenance because of work.
Hmm.
I really didn't care either back then, to be honest.
Hmm.
So I had this guy, a Middle Eastern guy. He got implants, and it actually worked really well for him.
Hmm.
His hair came in blooming. I'm like, wow, that came out really good. I came
Hmm.
credit for the doctor he had.
Hmm.
But not everybody is that lucky. So you might get implants and you just waste your money.
Yeah. And for a lot of guys who got the hair, like I said, the hair club for men, a lot of those guys who got those plugs and whatnot early on, it wasn't necessarily permanent
Yeah.
when they got those things. But some sort of something I can put in here, I would definitely welcome. But if I didn't have to shave again, I wouldn't mind at all. Just keep this clean shaven, and I'd be good with it. But I want to ask you about
Hmm.
just general, just day to day with the beard, especially a beard like yours or when it's really long. So like, what about just eating, for example?
Yeah, you like normal.
How is that? How do you care for that, or what's the, you know, my thing is you got to worry about bacteria and odor and things like that
Okay,
when you're eating
so
food, or
you got
especially a
good
messy
care.
type of food. Also,
You
if you
got
get
good
something
care
in it.
and bad care. Okay. Good care is when you it's two kind of washes for a beard. It's three washes. Actually. A strip and wash,
Hmm.
a regular beard wash, and a gentle wash. So I
Hmm.
personally don't use a strip and wash because it dries my skin too much. So what the stripping does, you do a rebond on your beard. It takes everything off the beard, all the oil, all the gunk, everything. All right.
Hmm.
Cool. All right. Then you do a gentle wash. You can use it any day of the week. I wash my beard 7 days a week, once a day. Don't wash it twice.
Hmm.
Once a day, one gentle wash, and that's it. I condition it every other day with the other soap. So I rotate my soaps. One day I do a gentle, one day I do a regular,
Hmm.
gentle, and so on.
Hmm.
So the regular one, it actually is not stripping, but it pretty much does a pretty good stripping.
Hmm.
So that's one. Two, oils. If I can, next time you're in PA with me hanging out, I'll have you come in and I'll show you the oil. Some of them smell so good. Let's put it this way: your wife won't take your hands off you. That's how smells are. It depends what kind of
Right.
smells you have. You have Detroit Brewing Company, who is more a colonial smell, and Kingsman, a
Hmm.
colonial company. But you have Dr. Nick, who's more a like regular smells, nothing too crazy. Or Live Beer did, and they're a really good
Hmm.
company too. There's so many out there. Oils are not expensive. They're under
Hmm.
$20 for a 3 ounce. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Now,
Yeah.
if you
Well,
want
just if you're just eating, like not so much
nothing,
I
nothing.
know you take it. I'm saying in the middle of the day, you eat something, you're eating soup or stew or something, some stuff gets into your beard or whatever.
Throw
Is
some
that
water
something
on it.
you can just easily
Yeah, just
just wipe off,
paper towel.
or
Just wipe it like normal. Nothing crazy. And if you're still there, I go a little in the bathroom, throw a little water. Do a little reset. I usually have a wooden beer comb in my pocket at all times, and I
Mhm.
just do a recess. I go, yep, we're good, and on my way.
Mhm.
I never
Yeah.
had a problem, dripping. Like the mustache might get a little long sometimes, so I do a little, trimming on the sides between barbershops
Mhm.
visits.
Right.
But nothing like most of the times, when I mean the growth of anything, like so he goes to me, Pete, what are we doing today? I go, nothing. We mean nothing. What are you sitting in my chair for? Like head hair, eyebrows, don't touch the beard. You're growing
Right.
it out. Okay. And we had a struggle, me and him, for a while because I used to tell him like, don't touch the neckline. He goes, I'm like, dude, and I'm like, shit, I forgot again. And so there's a struggle. And I had a different barber at the time because I used to square this off. He used to go straight across. I'm like, don't, dude, I don't like it straight across. I look more like, no offense, I don't look like a white Greek guy. I look like something else,
Right. Right.
and it wasn't for me. So with the length, I have no problem with it.
Mm-hmm.
Never had an issue with it. They people say, "Oh, you might eat your food." No, like you get hot. Actually, no. I'm actually cooler with the beard in the winter, in the summer. Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, because
Mm-hmm.
it cools you down. Same thing in the winter. It keeps you warmer. You got
Mm-hmm.
like so it's there's so many purrs with the beard life, and people don't
Mm-hmm.
realize like, oh, my wife doesn't like it. And like, do you take care of your beard correctly? Yeah, I do this. Like, you're
Mm-hmm.
not taking care of it. I broke it down. I had this guy named Joe. We used to work together, and I broke it down with him. And I
Mm-hmm.
bumped into him a couple weeks ago at the supermarket. He goes, dude, ever since you told my beard, my wife loves my beard now. Yeah, I go,
Mm-hmm.
thank you, thank you. I
Okay.
gotta pat myself on the back.
Okay. So now let's since you introduced it, let's just go into that. Let's just go into that area. When it comes to the ladies in your personal dating experience, what has been the reception? Did all the women just go crazy over it?
It's a mix.
Has it
It's a
been
mix.
mixed
It's a mix. It's really
50-50?
mixed.
What's been the
I like to do a show on this with a couple women actually,
Mhm.
because I think this is fair. So it's a mix. Some of them hate it, love her to death. But I'll use Jenny for example, my best friend's wife. She
Mhm.
hates long beards. Mike grows his
Mhm.
beard every so often, but after so, and I told her like, I'm growing my legs. She goes, she gave me a dirty look last time. I'm like, not a bad look,
Mhm.
but like, she doesn't approve kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Right.
But and again, there's nothing wrong with that. Now, Stacy, for example, I know for a fact she will not date a man with a short beard. She likes men with long beards. And
She likes men with long beards.
yeah,
Interesting.
Stacy, I know you're in the comments, so you better say something. Hey, my actually chat thing up here is not working tonight, guys. So you keep an eye on the chats. So I gotta
Mhm.
reprogram it. Or what the fuck is going on with it? CQ, if you're watching, I'm gonna need your help. So anyway, like my buddy King, he has a beard too. He
Yes, he
has
does.
more a
Yeah.
taper beard. So
Right.
he has more like probably like an inch and a half to 2 inches. I
Mhm.
know his girl really well, actually. She loves it. Great. He's a bold brother like yourself. But the difference about you and him, he goes to a barbershop. And the funny part, I'm going to throw him under the bus now, is when I saw him last time, I gave him a head shaver. I go, hey, dude, do me a favor. Do a review so I can put it on channel. He never did it.
Mm.
King.
Mm.
So I ended up buying it again and doing it myself.
Right.
He's son of a bitch. So I'm going
Right.
to throw him under the bus on that one. But my point is trying to get to is some women love it. Some women hate it.
Right. Yeah.
And some are in
Now,
the middle.
interesting. Now, with you, because you also have a lot of body hair, also, right?
You think?
I'm just asking. Look, I haven't taken a look at your body, so I'm not not looking for it. No.
I'm not doing it.
But so I'm just saying.
I don't want to
So,
get banned from YouTube.
but you've heard of ladies who like bears, right?
Yeah, it is. Everybody-
You've heard that term, right?
Yeah.
Like women, like I don't know if Stacy, if she's into bears, like does she just like hairy men, hairy backs, hairy chest, hairy, with the beard and all that? Is that just something she just appreciates?
So, I think she doesn't go either way. To be honest, with you. We
Okay.
never actually had
Okay.
that conversation. Like, do you like man with hair or no hair? I don't know. I really haven't actually asked her that. So when I was younger, I would say high school in my college years, I used to shave everything off. Like I went through
Right.
that phase. I
Right.
used to use disposable Mach 3 razor, go through it dry. I mean raw. I'm like no, like I did the whole what's it called shaving cream, but it was more a pain in the ass. So I just did it raw after. It was work before a shower. You do that, and I had one little back struggle one that took the hair off, and called it a day. I didn't do the pits. That was I was not going that far. So I started shaving for one big reason. My instructor, that's son of a bitch. I'm calling my son of a bitch for a reason. So if you look at my hairs right here, one is waxed permanently, one is not.
Right.
So
Right.
he locks up. All right. He locks up on me. He goes, he yanks me. I go, what the fuck was that? We both heard. Stacey says, she knows she loves.
Yeah,
my
she
beard.
loves
I
the
know.
beard.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask her. I want to know about the bears. Does she like
Okay.
bears?
So he locks up and we hear a rip. I'm like, what the fuck was that? I go, I don't know. He's like, did you shit your pants? I'm like, I'm not that fucking old. He goes, so he throws me and whatever. Like I'm changing in the locker room, and I always wear an undershirt underneath. It was a habit of
Yeah.
mine.
Right.
And he grabbed my shirt, but when he grabbed the gi and the undershirt,
Hmm.
he grabbed my hair. So he ripped it so hard. He pulled. He waxed me permanently.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, remember the scene from Return of the Dragon, right? Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris fighting in the Coliseum, and Bruce does that very thing.
Yeah.
Like he grabs him and rips the uh, um, he rips the hair off him. So I mean, to me, almost like that would almost be like a disadvantage if you're a hairy guy, having body hair that like anything someone can grab. So even like when you're fighting someone, like a street fight or something,
It is true. That is
if they can
facts.
grab your beard, if they can grab if you have a ponytail, I'm thinking anything. So that's, promote for the follically free people. It's less to grab if they can't grab your beard or your hair or pull on something or whatever. You don't want to be in that kind of position if you're in a real fight, a savage
And you're
fight
right.
kind of thing.
You're right. You're 100%
And
right
and
on
so
this.
yeah.
So, funny story. So, when I had my long hair the first time around, like way years ago, people used to pull my hair all the time. I was getting tired of it, so and I donated it again. And so I had the style I told you about. Like, no, I wasn't doing that back then. I actually would start rocking the mohawks when they were first popular back in the early 2000s. So people, oh, you want to pull your hair? Yeah, I got tired because you guys pulling my fucking hair. So we were allowed to wear beaters in that restaurant. It was a
Mhm.
bar. We know any better. Like, and now look back,
Mhm.
that's so against co-violation. They start pulling my goddamn stretch hairs. I'm like, you son of a
Right.
bitches. And I'm like, so yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm
it could
saying.
be.
Gee, and especially since you were in the martial arts for so long, I mean, that's an advantage. I mean, if you're especially if
Master
you've been
Ray,
taught like you use everything, bite, chew, scratch, pull, whatever. If
yeah,
you're gonna have, especially if your beard is like super long, that's it's almost like you're giving
hundred
it away.
percent. You're right on that. So
Mm,
Master Ray used to always he used to always been clean shaved no matter what. It doesn't matter what time of day. That's how he was, and he
mm,
used to shave his chest and back. And I used to call we used to call him a little joking around. And the day when he ripped my chest hairs out, I'm like, okay, now I'm shaving. I'm done with this shit. And
right.
actually, it was like a good yank, and it was like a blood spot like this big on my shirt. I'm like, the
Oh yeah, yeah,
fuck.
yeah.
And like after that, like I was like, that's it, and like stuff. Now
Right.
with your prep is like almost nothing, right? With with your hair, right?
Yeah, like I said, it's literally all I do is I'll wash or I'll sometimes if I'm in a hurry I'll use just a hot cloth just on the head just to soften up a little bit. I'll put the pre-shave on and then I'll brush my teeth to do something else, wait about 10 minutes or so, let it get dry. And those hairs like they stand up. So when they're standing up like that, when you do the head shaver,
Hmm.
it glides over. It's very comfortable shave to kind of go over. But if you don't, then you feel the pulling and the it's
Yeah,
a
I
lot of
felt
guys
that.
have
Yeah,
told me a lot of guys told me, yeah, I bought the head shaver and it didn't work for me. And I'll ask them, did you use a pre-shave? So
nope.
I tell them you use electric shave, pre-shave, or after pre-shave. Most of after pre-shave, the only place I get is like on Amazon. Like I don't see it in stores too often. At least not the pre-shave. Now the after shave, yes, but not the pre-shave. But you have to have the pre-shave on. And and the guys who I recommended it to, I don't know if they went and did. They never got back to me and said, okay, yeah, I tried it and it worked. But usually, if they complain, I'll ask them, did you put the pre-shave on? They say no. So until you do that, then come back and talk to me. But yeah, but that makes all the difference. And again, make sure it's dry. So let's say if you have like a hot, steamy bathroom, you might want to step out and like get dry because as long as your head is kind of wet, then those hairs can't get stiff. And again, you're gonna feel that pulling action on your hair when you're trying to use it. So again, stiff, dry hair that's almost standing up is ideal. And you really can't, especially if you're going to use the rotary shaver, you can't afford for it to get too long anyway. So really, I wouldn't go more than a day without shaving. Else it gets hard. The longer the hair, you're going to feel more of that pull. So again, about a day's worth is enough. And I can use it in my shaver for like the whole week, and I'll clean it out. It's like a magnetic head I just take it off, shake it out, or I'll rinse it out. Or if I really want to deep clean it, I'll just submerge it in water since it is, they say you can use it in water. So I just get hot water in the sink, maybe put a little alcohol in there to disinfect it. And I just let it run for like 10 to 20 seconds in the water, that the miscellaneous hairs, you see them just oozing out of the sides of the all of the sides of the heads, and then you shake it out, let it air dry. By the time you use it the next day or that evening or whatever, you're good to go again. So
That's
again,
one thing
very
we're gonna
easy.
agree on tonight because what
Yeah.
when I before I shave my any part of my body, when I do shave, it was like once in every 6 years. Um, I soak the razor in hot water, hot as I can get it.
Mhm.
And like, even if I have to boil the water, I will put it in a boil of
Yeah.
water and dump it in there.
Well, you can
I
get
don't
away. Like I
do
said,
that, but
if you pull um, 93 isopropyl alcohol, let it soak in there a little bit as well. That'll, just as good. Like I
yeah,
said,
no, no,
I'll
yeah, yeah.
usually
The reason I soak the razor in hot, it helps it with you head hair safe. With that, the blade will easier glide into it too. That's the thing.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
this is one thing me and Ashim kind of not argued, but we kind of butted heads. I felt shaving your head every other day is more a pain in the ass, to be honest with you,
Hmm.
and
Right.
versus just letting grow out. Now let me
Right.
ask this question. Like okay, we're going. Let's talk King for example. King still goes to a barber and gets his head shaved every so often, right?
Hmm.
So do you feel like that's a waste of money?
Yeah. If you do it, like I said, on a daily or other every other day at the most, there's no need to go back. Like I said, when I had that was one of the toughest calls I had to make because, like I said, the barbershop is like that's like a cultural center. So I never had to think about it because I was going there like every 2 weeks. So like I said, when my hair started to thin out, I was going every week. So again, you hung out there. You were there for a couple hours. You broke bread. There were guys in the barbershop who didn't even get there, weren't even there to get a haircut. They're just hanging out because that's the place to hang out and get the
Oh yeah, yeah, I
community
totally agree.
conversation and talk about, all of that. So guys were there. But when I told them that, look, I have no reason to come, I had to force myself to go to the barbershop just to say hello. Whereas before, just for years, it was almost like clockwork. Or he's going to be in Saturday by noon. He's going to be here, and the conversation kicked off, and we do it just like we do on the show. We were doing it in the barbershop, so it was very much a thing. So when I said I'm not patronizing your business anymore, then that was a tough call to make. So I've never had to go back because of that. Like I said, the head shaver, I've only had to replace the head once. Like the head lasted 2 or 3 years before I had to replace it,
And
and
that's
I went
recent, right?
from a 5 head to a 6 head. The one I have now has six shaving heads on it, and it complies to your head. It bends. It kind of contorts to your head as you're going over it. And again, it's very comfortable. So there's hasn't been a reason for me to go back. So if Hashim is going back, it might be just for the hangout. Um,
King, not Hashim. King goes back,
King,
and yeah,
I'm sorry,
but
yeah.
also he probably gets his beard, so he gets his beard shaped up every so often too.
That's true. Yeah,
So
if
that's
you're rocking
probably
a beard, then yeah, a lot of
I
times
think
you
it's more
want,
for the
especially
beard
if you
than
want it
anything.
edged up nicely, you definitely want someone to do that.
Yeah, you could do it yourself. There tricks to the trade to that. They have a
Mhm.
I don't have it right here. I should have had it over here. It's a little thing you put around a yellow like a brisket, a guideline almost, right?
I
And
got you.
and you shave around it. It's like $12. I'm like, wow, this guy was
I get it,
smart.
but there's the aspect again, the grooming,
Yeah.
no pun intended. So you like to be taken care of. You know what I'm saying? Like, when was the last time you've been to? I know you do a lot of stuff yourself,
Hmm.
but when was the last time you treated yourself to having someone? I know you talked about you went to the barber and she messed up your head and all that kind of stuff, but really get the whole thing, get the facial exfoliant done, get the beard washed and trimmed. I mean, treat yourself to like a day spa, that a place that really knows how to take care of your face and your beard, exfoliation, all that, and just that's a that I mean, as hard as you work and stuff, there's nothing wrong with that. And I think a lot of guys go again to the barbershop because that's like the only time you get to really pamper yourself.
So
Me, I
a
do
couple
everything.
things I'm gonna
I get massages, I get all of that, but the facial care every once in a while. It doesn't have to be every couple of months. If you just went some to a place and just treated yourself to something, because you work hard, man.
yeah. So a couple things I want to kind of debunk here for everybody. if you ask a barber to wash your beard, he's gonna look at you like you have like 5 heads. No barber washes anybody's beard because the way the angle is, so you can't rinse it out. No way. So that's why they don't do. If you go look any website right now, I can put one out right now.
That's surprising to me.
I'm sorry.
And that's a bad business model then, because you're missing money.
I
I mean,
agree 100%. And that's something I've been talking to a lot of barbers lately. They go, why don't you wash your beard? How am I going to rinse your beard off? He goes, because you have to be facing forward versus doing that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
I get it, but you have a lot of the salons. They have like not only do they have the bar, but they have the beauty side, like where the women are. What I mean, they have
actually make right now men's barber salons that they're high end. Listen, dude, I know it's been a while since you got a haircut. Haircuts now range from 30 to 50, maybe $60 a pop.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got expensive since you last. I remember when I was like early 20s, and like I was getting for like $15, and maybe another $5.
Yeah. Now up to this 2019, like I said, late 2019, it was about $15 per session, so it wasn't terrible. And I wasn't getting like the exquisite, like I wasn't getting the lines in, I wasn't getting anything. I was like, look, just cut it low, keep it, even it out or whatnot. That's all. It was pretty simple. I wasn't doing anything extravagant.
Now I want to bring this website up really fast. Give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Here it is. All right. I know you pop it up in the chat. So I'm going to put this guy's website up for a minute. This is my barber's, where I go. Come on. All right. He does have a school too. Just keep that guys in mind. So I want to, again, I'm not trying to advertise anybody. I'm just, because the conversation opened up about this.
Sure.
Let me go here instead. You guys can bear with me 1 second. Come on. He went into that. So barbers have gotten very, very expensive, like we know. All right. So here we are. Where are you? Website. Boom. There we go. So this is his website. All right. He's located in Strasbourg, just in case anybody wants to know. So when you book for him, let's say I'm trying to find it. Okay, he's the owner. So he has a barbershop and a barber right next to each other, school. So let's say you want to book with Dave. Dave is my guy I go to usually. Just in case. Okay, $5 for eyebrows. I usually get that. Haircut is about 30. So we have 35 already, all right? Now, if you go further down, okay. Now, if you want to do a head shave, the whole full package like you usually do is about $40, the whole thing. So you're saving about, what we do? Let's say every 2 weeks, Paul, you would go if you had to, right? Sounds right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, towards the end, as when my hair started to thin, I was going every week.
I totally understand that. I'm just saying if you disregard, you'll be doing like what?
Every 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yep.
So that's $80 a month right there for you. So I get this service usually. So 65 for the head, because I like the towel service. To me, that is the most comfortable thing ever. He does over my face. I fall asleep.
So they do the hot towel, but they still won't wash the beard.
Exactly. I know it makes no sense. So if I'm scrolling through everything now, so you see, is nowhere in here it says beard wash. It has skin fades, head wash. There we go. Nose wax. Yep, we got ear wax. Wax window peaks. That's the middle right here. If you want to wax, ear wax. Eyebrows. Facials, like you said, the black mask one they use. So that's every single thing he offers on his. And now, if you go tell me, okay, maybe somebody else from his staff, all his staff is the same. It doesn't matter who you pick from here, the same thing.
Right.
Prices across the board are the same. So, going back to what we originally said, it doesn't get pricey, yes, but the bigger thing is the biggest. People lose so much money out of that.
Yeah.
because it could be maybe another $5, $10. Let's say 10, let's say 15 for argument's sakes. That's $15 you're
Yeah.
losing profit
Yeah.
because they don't, for a reason. I'm not a personal barber. I cannot talk for them, but from my experience, what Paul is saying and I'm saying, I think he's losing some money there.
Yeah, I mean, it's because a lot of guys are rocking beards, especially long. I mean, and it's like it's a bowl. I know that everything's trends, right? So, I'm sure there was a clean shaven look at a time, but now guys are being more expressive with beards and not just goatees. I mean, big beards. I mean, so I mean
They're uprising right now with beards. So, a
yeah,
we went from clean shaving or a little facial hair, meaning like goatee or string strap. That's the most what people did. Then we
right.
went into the short beards that came in. So short beards is not like maintenance, still a little oil and call it a day. When I started growing the short beard, I didn't know any better. So when it got
Mm-hmm.
too long, like if you see my cheeks are like this length, I would just
Mm-hmm.
start buzzing it down to a 5 o'clock
Right.
shadow till I need another haircut. So when the beers really picked up, I would say is right before COVID into COVID because barbershops were closed.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing, I refuse to pay money if my beard is not getting shaped up. So why am I paying you all this money and I'm not getting full service?
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
not getting my haircut then. So
Yeah. That doesn't make sense to
at the
me.
time, I was seeing a different barber. I wasn't seeing Dave, and he said, I'll make an exception for you. Like you're going to because I'm not going to be coming back to you after COVID. It's simple. So it was just one of those things. Like I never understood that.
Mm.
Like and now so the
Yeah.
beard's growing and getting bigger, bigger, bigger. Like
Right.
and I got to the point to be honest with you, I have to wear a beard guard anyway. It doesn't matter how long my beard is.
Gotcha.
I'm just gonna let it grow no matter what. Then you just
So
keep
you wear
it
the
responsible.
headgear, you have the beard guard, so you're pretty covered
Yeah.
doing that. But do you enjoy going simply for the grooming, for the experience? Are you into massages? Are you
Oh
into
yeah.
any kind of so again, how often would you go for like that kind of service? Body massage, facial wash, like the whole, let's say if you were your birthday or whatever, if someone nice
Be honest,
got you
I
a
have
birthday
never
package
done
to
it,
stay.
but I always wanted to do it because I just never
All right.
have time for me. That's my
All
issue.
right, so you guys, all right, so folks in the chat, so you guys already know the man's never done it, so that might be a nice little gift for him, in the future to give him a spa package and let the man take care of himself. Just saying, throwing a plug out there for you. But all right, so one area, and again, how much more time you got? Because I know you got
30
an
more
early day
minutes.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I got a reason I changed this show. Just before everybody knows, I'm going to church tonight because of we do it at midnight. We'll talk about it tomorrow night. So tune in tomorrow at 9:30 at the gray area between me and Paul. We'll be talking about Greek Orthodox. So that's my little commercial advertisement right now.
There you go.
Ding.
All right, so all right, did you have another question you want to go through, or can I ask a question?
Go ahead. It doesn't matter either way. Go
Okay.
ahead. Yeah.
So on the subject ahead, now again, I'm getting into a very sensitive area here. All right. What is your view? And maybe we might have some agreement on this, and maybe not. What is your take on under the waist grooming? Below the waist grooming.
You got buzz down. You don't need a Kraken. See, here's the thing. The Kraken is, when it is a little hair, it depends how much hair. Let's say you let it go wild, right? It's cushioned.
Mhm.
But your girl doesn't need no hair in her mouth either. So you got. I don't clean shave completely because the blade down there scares me too much.
Even if you use like the Manscaped, but you have a Manscaped, right?
Yeah, before I got my Manscaped, I'm talking about.
Oh, okay, right.
I got that recently. Like I have the video. I actually did a whole video on it. I mean, just.
You got the 3.0 or the 4. What do you got?
I'll tell you right now because I have a whole video, like I said, about it.
Mhm.
Because I don't even remember which one I did, to be 100% honest. And it was recent. It wasn't too long ago. It was about 3 months ago I got it. I got that 4.0 version.
4.0. Yeah, I think that's the latest.
Yeah, I think so
they might
too.
have come out with a 5 by now, but I know the 4.0 was last year. Because I was actually looking into it for a minute, but I have to. But then you said the other one. What was the other one you were talking about?
Brio?
Yeah. Yeah. So
Or
you,
was a
no, it was the
Brio?
Brio.
Was it okay? Yeah. What about it?
I'm saying compared. If you compare the two, you've used both of them, right?
Yes. So I'm weird about this a little bit. I don't like using my facial hair one for my private areas. I just
Hmm.
a thing of mine. I always sanitize my equipment after I'm done. I put a little
Right.
alcohol on it. It's something about me. I just don't like doing it. I just don't. I don't know why. I've always been like that.
Well, you're thinking about you might be doing like an autofillate kind of thing.
Funny story. This is a true story, actually. All right. So when during COVID, our barbershops were closed, right?
Right.
So I didn't have the Brio yet. I didn't have the Manscaped, nothing. So and this is before I started growing my hair out for to donate it. So I had the Panasonic one. All right.
Hmm.
So I was with my ex at the time.
That's what I have now. I actually have a Panasonic now.
They're great.
Actually.
I'm not gonna. I can't say nothing about them. They're really good. They're reliable.
Hmm.
So I needed, the kids would need a haircut. My ex's kids. I'm like, I looked at my ex. I go, do they realize the one they're using is the one I use for my, for my. Don't you fucking say anything. Don't you dare. Like, well, I think they can tell me how they're finally got my balls on their head. I'm like, don't you dare say anything. I want to so bad, but it wasn't like. I'm like,
Oh man,
oopsies.
that is wild.
But nah, so my routine with shaving out there is very simple. Before I in the shower, I like the 4.0 because it has a flashlight, and
Yeah.
you can see everything.
Hmm.
Like, only advice I would say is don't be nervous of it. Just go for it. It
Hmm.
doesn't pull these hairs. It's actually
Right. Right.
that with the Panasonic. Oh, you're gonna nip yourself a little bit. You're gonna feel it.
Yeah. Yeah.
This one
Now
you're
the
not gonna
the
feel it.
the blade is like it's like ceramic, right? It's not even metal. It's
Yeah. I'll tell you right now exactly because I don't remember what it's made of.
I think it's a ceramic blade.
Yeah, let me look it up right now. Uh, where is it? I can't. Let me find it.
Yeah, like I said, I'm pretty. I feel bad because, like I said, I
Yeah.
looked into the four, and then I saw something on the Brio, so I was kind of going back. I watched some Amazon video. I mean, some YouTube videos like comparing the two. Some people like the Brio better. Some people like the 4.0 better.
Okay, here
So
we
it
go.
kind of went back and forth.
So Manscaped home for her. Here we go. Let me just. I know so I think it's ceramic. I'm not mistaken.
Ceramic,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I don't think it's plastic,
No,
but
it's ceramic.
mhm.
I'm pretty sure it's like here it is. I'll tell you the material now. They have knockoff versions of it too because they became so popular. Like everybody's making it
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's ceramic. Like I said, it's ceramic. The Manscaped and the beer groomer, the beer buzz, whatever, Brio and Manscaped use it the same technology. They use
Hmm.
ceramic. That's a big popular
Hmm.
thing. The problem with ceramic is also you cannot do the neck area really well.
Okay, yeah,
That's the only
yeah.
thing.
Well, plus it's kind of wide, right?
Oh yeah, you're going from this to this. For the
Yeah,
one. I will not use
yeah,
that for down there because you got no room to work with it.
yeah,
But
yeah.
even for mustache, I use the Brio just for my no, the ceramic one for what's called it uh, um the Panasonic for my mustache. That's the only reason I keep it around anymore.
Okay,
Yeah, so I
but
have
I'm
one for
saying,
my
but the 4.0
mhm.
is kind of wide.
No,
It's not.
small.
Oh, it's
Like
small. It's small. Okay,
yeah,
okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
it's not that big. Like in the Panasonic small too. It's good for the mustache. I got one for the mustache, one for the beard, and one for the grooming area. If that
Right.
makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so see, look, so we're at another area of agreement here.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I think so. Again, we both agree on the under the waist grooming is something that is desired, not
I
only
think
just
so.
for us, but for the ladies in our lives or whatnot. We
Yeah.
don't want them seeing the Christmas trim down
Exactly.
there.
Yep.
So, So you
Yeah.
definitely want to,
Paul, do me a favor.
you
Take over
know,
for 1 second. Something's going on downstairs. Give me 1 second.
you got it. Not a problem. Not a problem. But yeah, we don't want to see the nobody wants to see that. Now again, and that's definitely something that's probably changed in the last, I don't know, 10, 15 years or something like that, where you were called all kinds of names if you were trimming yourself down there. You know what I mean? So
Sorry about that, guys.
not a problem. No, I was just saying, just trying to keep
Yeah.
the air, not the dead space. But I'm saying, but that's definitely something I think that has changed in men in the
Oh
last 10 to
God, yeah.
15 years.
Oh God,
Because
yeah.
back in the day, if you were shaving that, either you were into the corn industry or you were, something else.
Yeah.
But now it's pretty acceptable, regardless of who you are. It's pretty acceptable now for men to shave down there. But 10, 15 years ago, guys were like, what do you, what's wrong with you or something? Unless you were, of that lifestyle or whatever, that
It's
you would
funny
do that.
because we started this trend. We started going from the happy line to nothing. It slowly
Hmm.
went that way. Because originally
Hmm.
it was if you were in the porn industry, pretty much you did it,
Hmm.
or if you're a model. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Yeah.
Bodybuilders did it too because they kind of like the hair kind of like loses the shape of the muscles. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
But now it's like everybody does it. Everybody does it.
Right. Right. Now what's your view on females? Because I know, like, there's been all kinds of, and I've heard a lot of back and forth on this in terms of women saying you shouldn't do it for health reasons and things of that nature. But again, we all know about the Brazilian waxes and things of that nature, and there's all kinds of variations of stuff. Have you, what's your view on women's under the waist grooming? Is that an essential for you, or is there
Yeah.
certain?
I just need clean. Simple as that. I'm not. I don't even mean halfway that one. Like you gotta be clean.
Yeah.
I'm like, I
Right.
will say one thing behind that also. With
Hmm.
women. So recently I was at a store selling some old stuff I had. Some old toys and stuff like that. Right. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. She didn't have her armpits shaved. I'm like, she had
Hmm.
more hair on her pits than I did. I'm like, and
Oh man, yeah,
she went out like back, like just scratch herself for a second. I'm like, oh shit, turn around, fast beat. I'm
yeah.
like, that's a new thing now. Girls don't shave their pits. Like,
Well,
what the?
so a lot of girls, yeah, a lot. It's almost like a movement, like going back to the natural. I know, BMU shows that picture of the lady in the bikini, the leopard bikini, and with all
Yeah,
the
yeah,
hair
yeah.
on her. But I know a lot of ladies are going back to this sort of natural thing: armpit hair, pubic hair,
It's disgusting, in
just
my
not
opinion.
shaving in that area and they, it's almost like it's a movement of, so back to natural, or they think that, okay, this was basically for the exploitation of women. It was almost like saying, okay, well, men, because of the corn industry and whatnot, men were making you do this and stuff, and it's like taking your power back. I mean, just all kinds of reasons. A lot of it's almost like a feminist type of movement, to an extent. But yeah, that's definitely making a comeback in some circles, where women are going back to the all natural. I've never liked it, and I think the most disgusting, especially if you're going to be in a bathing suit or on a beach or whatever, and you can see the hairs coming out on the sides and all that. That is just, that's like,
Nasty.
nobody should see that. You know what I mean? But it's just amazing how, but generally, I think the trend is, I think a lot of ladies are going bare or landing strip or, something that, if they're not
Ew.
doing it themselves, they're getting the treatments done. And I know some even do get the laser done, because they just hate the whole waxing experience or whatever. So they get the laser treatments done. But I'm like you. I like the clean. Like I said, I don't like anybody here, quite frankly. So the smoother it is, the better. And I just think there's just something about, um, having that area done is just cleaner, just all the way around. So yeah, I've never been attracted to hair below the waist, and on myself, or certainly not on my wife, or either. So that's just, yeah, that's just not a that's just not a good look for me, man.
No, I totally get that because I don't ever, I was never a fan of it, to be honest with you. I'm still not a
Mm,
fan of. I never was a fan of it. It's just nasty. To be straight up with you, I'm not gonna lie. I think it's completely nasty.
yeah.
Um,
Now, what about, now again, from a cultural perspective? Are Greek women, is that, um Is that a trend? Is that something that most Greek women they prefer being groomed, or is that person to person? Is it like I know some cultures are different. Brazilians, I know they're like, oh, they want it bare most of the time, but I don't know what's like women in Greece. Is that a normal part of their regimen to get, or just shaving, just no body hair in general, or what do you know, think about that?
From my understanding, over the years, being Greek, they shave everything off. Like they don't
Hmm.
keep anything. Women should be nice and smooth.
Hmm. Now,
Um,
is that a new sort of thing, like your mother's generation or older women? Was that a thing with them as well, or was it is this like something new, fairly new, like since the 80s or 90s or whatever? Women just started going, wearing smaller bathing suits, and therefore because they're wearing smaller bathing suits and undergarments and whatnot, they just shave that area. Do you think that's just what the times that we're in?
I think it's the time we're in more than anything because my mom,
Okay, yeah.
she didn't shave everything. To be honest with you, you know what I'm saying.
Hmm.
So it
Hmm.
wasn't really her cup of tea, if that makes sense.
Hmm. Yeah.
And now everybody's shaving everything. It's just one of those things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and I think we got our thing back up and running, our chat thing because it was acting up all night.
Yeah, I saw some shots pop up in the
Yep,
main
there it
stream.
is
So
working finally. I just got to adjust
right,
it a little bit. Man.
right.
I got a little work on it, but I can fix it later. It's no big deal. We
I
got it
got
working.
you.
That's what matters. And Stacey says some of them died too. Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, now that's another. Now
This is
that's
a voodoo
that's
thing we
speaking
got
of
working.
that's now this is, I think, in the context of the grooming below the waist area, but
Yeah.
the fact that she brought it up, what your thought? I mean, obviously, because and you're still a relatively young guy. You're under 40 years old, but you can clearly tell you have your wisdom whiskers in. Any thoughts to dyeing it?
My beard?
To or your hair, or in,
Okay,
in,
so
in
I don't dye
general. See,
nothing.
again,
I don't agree on it because I think it's I done my research and it's bad for your beard. It's bad for your hair. So
is it okay?
it's no such thing as natural hair dye. Use one of my exes for example. She dyed her hair so much, her hair is thinned out so much you can see right through her hair skull right now.
Okay.
So it's damaged. That you're not. She's doing all these different treatments, to recover it, and you're never gonna recover from it. It's done. It's done at this point. And like,
Hmm.
you get up there in age, like around my age and your age, and like at this point when you hit 40 and over, you're not gonna fix your hair. It's like two things you can do. You can try to get some professional treatments, maybe. That's why I don't touch it. And like I even talked to Dancy Bearded, who's the number one beer YouTuber on the streets.
Hmm.
He says don't even bother. Don't stay away from it. And
Hmm.
that's something I agree with him. Stay away from it. Don't yeah, embrace it. That's wisdom. That's what I tell people. People give me shit all the time. Oh man, you're so unpaid by your age. I'm like, what? Look at an old man. I'm like, okay,
Hmm.
all right, that's fine. I don't
But
care.
now, when did you start? Because again, you're 38, right?
Yes.
Okay, so when did you start going gray?
All
Because
very
again, you're
young.
still a relatively young guy. So
Very young. It runs young in my family. The first
does
one
it?
I got
Okay.
was like 16. The first one. And, they say don't pluck the first one, then you get a bunch of them. Yep, that's what happened.
Mm.
I plucked it and you're downward effect. I'm like,
It just went, yeah, it just went gray. Yeah.
yeah.
But you were never at any time tempted to like, put a little color and darken it, or whatever.
I thought about it a couple times, but I never really went through with it, if that makes sense.
Right. Well, you do everything else.
Yeah, you got a good
Unless
point
you're
there.
just unless you've done every oil beard treatment available, trim, no trim, beard, no beard. So if you just did a round, or do you just think it would just do too much damage to your hair that you don't want to risk it?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It'll be too much damage to my. I don't want to take the risk. To be
Okay,
honest with you, I thought
I
about it
got
a
you.
couple times. I had the stuff, but I never went through with it. If that makes sense.
Right,
I
right,
just
yeah.
like I never like with the hair at least. The beard, I never
Hmm.
really crossed my mind. A lot of people do. Says, get just for men. I'm like, I don't want to. I'm okay with the way it is. I'm
Hmm.
like, okay, so it looks me a little older. I don't care. I really don't.
Hmm.
Like, I'm going through my phase right now. I'm like he's telling our pain to paint his beard, and he's literally like freaking the second 2.0 of standout at this point right now. And like, but it works for him. And this is me.
Yeah.
And like, embrace your beard. Rock what makes you you. Don't change it. And the biggest
Right.
advice I can give anybody: if you think you're gonna have like a Viking beard of Dan Seed, for example, let's use Dan Seed, because he's a really big YouTuber, or
Right.
Kronos, you're not gonna have the same beard than him. Don't try to go for a goal is not realistic. Have a realistic goal. Like grow the best beard you have, because that
Hmm.
beard is not gonna be the same. My mustache. All right, I love to get those big,
Yeah, the curly.
handlebar,
Yeah.
curly one, but my
Yeah.
mustache
Right.
doesn't grow like that.
Right.
It won't grow. It only grows something like that. So a beard also have a what's called a lifespan. Terminal length is called.
Hmm.
So everybody's long is different. So my terminal length is very short for my mustache. So
Hmm.
it only grows so long and that's it. Now my down here, that's a different story. I can grow. The longest I had
Hmm.
was 3.5 inches. I'm at 3 right now. So another month or two, I'll be at 3.5. And I'm not this year. I'm literally not touching it at all. I'm just gonna let it go. I only did
Hmm.
the cheeks a little bit because I needed to, because when interviews and stuff like that was going on, I'm
Yeah.
letting that go. I had to clean up a
Hmm.
little bit, but this bottom part, I'm not touching it all. I want to see how far it will go without touching it. That's what most people like. They touch it and they take it away here, take it later, like, and they have to start over again. Like, oh, I can't go up here, but you keep touching it. Leave it alone. You know
Right.
what
Right.
I'm saying? So
Well,
if you
well, actually, that's a good segue as well. So, like, say if you do have to go on an interview for a job, or just you need to look clean, for lack of a better term, for something public, something where you're being like a nice suit
I know where you're going with
on.
this already. So this
So,
is a quick answer. So I'm gonna use Dan Seabeard. He did a video recently on this too. I'm saying a couple months ago. He says leave it. Rock what you do. Don't change anything about yourself. You're gonna be the person you are, like always.
mm,
But other people say clean up a little bit. It's really your preference. What do you feel more comfortable? You feel like comfortable? I need to take it down a little bit to be presentable, or should I keep it? It's really
mm.
your call. I can't answer that question. You can answer it, Paul. Nobody can answer it. What is
Well,
more comfortable for
but
you?
I'm asking you, like, what would if you needed to?
Me? I
Do you think,
go
like, right now?
this.
So your beard, your current look, you comfortable rocking that in any setting? Job
Yep.
interview,
Yep.
funeral, wedding, whatever.
Correct.
Um, okay. Well, then let me ask you. Okay, let's say if you get married, is that the ideal look, or will you do something wild, or will you? So you have several months to plan for this wedding and everything.
That is
Have
a
you ever given
conversation
thought
I would
to?
have with my fiance at the moment, and figure that out.
Okay, okay,
Because I know that is gonna be a one-time life thing. If she asks me, babe, I need you to go short, like at 1 or 2 inches, I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? It won't make a difference
but
to me. But
what would you prefer? Have you given thought to? Okay, your wedding.
it depends what look I'm
It's
rocking
your
at the
day as
moment.
much as it's hers,
It depends
huh?
what look I'm rocking, because you know how I change my looks so often. It depends what I'm
So
rocking at the
so
moment.
again, so you don't have a wedding. So again, you're walking down the aisle. Your new wife and you have the, I'm sorry, what's that, the halo thing you wear on your heads, the
Oh, Stefania.
Stefania.
Yeah.
You're rocking the Stefania. You never gave thought to what you're looking like. Do you have long flowing locks? Do you have the
If my hair is
heads?
long at the moment, yeah, I will rock my hair long, of course. If I have my beard is long, I will rock it. I will rock whatever look I'm doing every single day. I'm not gonna change anything. If it was up to
Okay,
me.
that's what I was asking.
Yeah.
You don't, again, so you don't have a look. If you know you get married, okay, you get married 6 months from now. You never thought about in your head, okay, this is what I want to wear. And of course, if she's cool with it as well.
Correct.
But you never given thought to what you would want, how you would want to present yourself on that day.
Correct.
Okay, it'll just be whatever season you're in.
Yeah, whatever's going on that day. So,
Got you.
but I think that we're good for time. What do you think? We're gonna call it?
I think so. No, I
Yeah.
think this is good. This is a healthy bro conversation.
Good
No
hangout conversation.
no shots fired. We just chopping it up. Like I said,
This is what the point of the show.
I
It's fun. It's like bullshit. Like, I mean, say started with shots fired, but I was just fucking around. I see how you come into it. So I got you there.
right.
Yeah.
We came in peace. We leave in peace. And but for real though, all serious notes, definitely Carlo Pasha.
Thank you.
All right. And we'll definitely chop it up tomorrow on that. I'll really like to get a deep dive on
Yeah, we're
that,
gonna
and
have
people
a
may
great
come in and be like,
conversation
what are they talking about? Easter was like last month.
Yeah. For
But
you guys, not for this guy.
I know. I'm just saying, people won't be coming in, but I'm definitely looking forward to that conversation. But it's certainly as as my brother in Christ, definitely wishing you, Father Costantino, all you guys. This is just a great time, and I celebrate with you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And all the best tonight and going forward. So,
Yeah. So, guys, tomorrow at 9:30, we're having a conversation in a gray area about Greek Orthodox Easter. What is different versus Catholic Easter? There's a lot of difference, believe it or not. So join us here or be on your channel. We're gonna have that conversation. I'm not sure what topic we're talking about for Wednesday yet. I haven't done something else, so I haven't checked my notes. So we'll be 9:30 on Wednesday. Again, Saturday, same concept. We'll be here again. So except that, this is Green Reviews. I am Ghost of Sparta. He's the president. So except that, we'll see you guys next time.